Good morning. I'm joining you today from my office at Elon University. I've been doing some thinking just in relation to work that I have the opportunity to be a part of in relation to leadership. Some of the work with students on campus, and students and professionals outside of the university through campus recreation, and then also with the development of faculty and staff in regards to infusing leadership pedagogy throughout curricular and co-curricular experiences. And leadership is a really difficult construct to define. You know, if I went around campus or out in the local community here in Alamance County and asked people, hey, what do you believe leadership is? You know, we would have various definitions of what that looks like. A lot of the work that I have used in relation to leadership is from the social change model, which was created at UCLA with the Higher Ed Research Institute. And the social change model really talks a lot about the importance of individual values, group values, and community values, and how all of those interact with one another to make change. And Susan Comavez, who has had over 40 years of experience working with the social change model and other conceptual frameworks around leadership, really focuses on this idea of how we go about understanding ourselves and being self-aware, if it's actively listening to others to understand why they may believe the things that they do. And just from my different dialogues, sometimes over the past, I started having opportunities to work with leadership and was asked to teach a leadership course way back at Central Michigan University, which was almost 15, 17 so years ago. And then I ended up leaving to go work on my PhD full-time at Virginia Tech. And it was great because at that time, we at Virginia Tech, the orientation leaders had a credit course. It was a peer leadership course, and we used a lot of those theories. And so that was really my first time touching, talking about the social change model. Another one is the Leadership Challenge by Kouzes and Posner. There's a variety of them. But I think it's really interesting, when you gather people together to talk about leadership from various academic disciplines. You have, different views from potentially business, what that might look like for human service professionals. What does that look like in education? What does that look like if we're studying religion? Various things. So the complexities of that and trying to find some of the similarities and the differences are key. But coming to this common ground of understanding self and understanding others to make positive change can really be a great starting point for people to tap into that. I had this cool little book that many of you probably know who Simon Sinek is, but he has a little inspirational book that says Together is Better, a little book of inspiration. And, one of the things, I like this one, it's on page 134. It says, leadership is an education, and the best leaders think of themselves as the students, not the teachers. And that really, touched me when I was kind of thinking about what I might want to talk about and write about this week. I've been spending a lot of time in both of my classes. One is a Core 110 liberal arts class that the theme is engaging in difficult dialogue, leadership, moral courage, and critical hope. And we're talking about how do we engage in difficult dialogue to actively listen to one another to understand why we may believe something a certain way, and why we have that opinion, because the complexities of the intersections of our identity, as well as various life experiences that we've been exposed to, can really frame some of the ways that we come to a difficult dialogue that we have to have. And it's been awesome to kind of see this infused throughout the last, I guess we're like in the 5th week now at Elon, through this liberal arts course that I'm teaching for the global course, but then also with my contemporary sport, which is typically an intro course to sport management. And it's assisted us in having conversations about inequities in relation to women, race, ethnic groups within sport, and how do we go about creating socially sustainable opportunities within sport, and how sport shapes culture. And so if we're going to be future professionals and leaders going out into the world, what does it look like for us in relation to if we're the ones making decisions? How are we making those decisions? What is our responsibility? What does it look like to be ethical? How do my own values align with the organization that I'm working for? And understanding when sometimes those values may change or seem misinterpreted, that you have to really think to yourself, now that I understand this organization that I'm working for and their why, does my individual why of what I'm passionate about actually connect to their purpose? And really kind of honing in on being intentional with the choices that you make about your own purpose. And this can happen in various settings and environments through, for students, it might be, what student organization they're a part of, if it's time for them to step up and take on another role within the organization, or if it's time for them to step back. But the idea, though, again, let me just read this again, is leadership is an education, and the best leaders think of themselves as the students, not the teachers. And so what I would encourage all of us to do this week is to really think about, what can I do to step back and listen, to truly understand why someone is coming from a varied perspective. And the other thing, Simon Sinek noted after placing this quote from a book that he had written, it says, if you have a new idea or perspective to offer and you repeatedly hear, I've been doing this a lot longer than you, I think I know what I'm doing, run away. I think all of us at all various levels within an organization, within a class, really need to kind of consider, how do we go about intently listening to someone, not even based on what position that they hold within an organization or their role as a student versus me being a faculty member in the classroom. And the other thing that was inspirational, and I'll share this TED Talk in my post later on Friday, there's a young man named Zachary Wood, and he has a wonderful TED Talk about really reaching out and talking to people who disagree with you and have a different opinion about something. I think a lot of times you need to have your inner circle where you can have those conversations to feel support and how you're going into that. But many times we avoid talking to others that have a completely different perspective than us, and we feel very strongly about our opinion, and we definitely disagree with them. However, when have we taken the time to actually call them in and listen to why they have that opinion and why they believe that? What is it about their identities? What is it about their lived experiences that has led them to believe the way that they believe? And so just get out there, continue to be comfortable being uncomfortable and just remember that leadership is an education, and it's really about what am I going to go out and learn today? And that could be from a 16-year-old, even a 4-year-old, to someone who's 85. All right. Well, I wish you all well, and get out there, be a student, and realize you don't always have to be the teacher. All right. Hey, have a blessed day. Check out Friendly Light Friday this Friday, coming out early in the morning. All right. Great. Bye.